Here we go. Okay, okay. I think 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Jesus. I gotta get a new partner. Hi, everyone. That better? Oh, my bad. Coda's not paying attention to the settings again. So, anyway, how is everyone? It's June 29th. If you're here in the States, you're probably like me and have some neighbors who are making some questionable decisions about where they are firing off their fireworks. Not that I necessarily mind, you know, except for making sure the animals are taken care of. But let's just say a bunch of these people don't exactly make sure the area they fire off their fireworks at isn't properly saturated, so they don't start no damn fires. So as long as we're not all of a sudden not smelling burning pork or hearing people screaming, "My God, my hand," or anything of that nature, I suppose we're all right. But nevertheless, I know it's almost 4th of July. It's summertime. We're already boiling our brains out, but please do be courteous to all your animals or veterans with PTSD when you go to fire off fireworks. If you're going to fire off illegals, just be safe about it, all right? We can't necessarily condone it to properly address some of the law enforcement that like to watch us. But just be safe, be careful. It's like Monica Peterson. I'm okay. I'm in Minnesota. Well, I'm in Idaho, so it's usually right around this time period. It's either lightning storms or idiots with fireworks that are burning up the place. Iron Fire Horse, how the hell are you? Christopher said he should be coming in about 15 minutes, so we're just going to come in, maybe have a little chat. And I don't know, maybe we'll open up the panel a little bit, make this a proper hangout, open panel, just talk about everything that's been going on in the world lately. So, I do have some interesting news. Minnesota, you got scattered rain. Yeah, you're pretty lucky there. We're usually pretty dry over here. Every now and then we get lucky and have some rain, but you also tend to like the set up fireworks shows that get to be so loud they set off car alarms. Anyway, so those of you who followed the social media channels may know that there was a recent sighting that had been brought to my attention. There was actually a couple. See, the first, I remember correctly, was just a couple weeks ago. A gentleman, I literally got this report within an hour of this alleged sighting, and I was pissed off. Not because of anything that happened, but because I was stuck at work when it came in, and it was literally within walking distance. So here in Southern Idaho, we had a gentleman reach out about a possible sighting. To him, the craft resembled a B-2 bomber, but what seemed to be much bigger, seemed to hover in place for quite a bit before taking off. He managed to get a little bit of a photo. From my analysis, the photo seems to be legit. There's no doctoring, anything like that. And as far as the witness, he does seem to be fairly credible. Now, the area I'm at here in Southern Idaho, we're actually a bit of a hot spot, especially as of late when it comes to UFOs. So much so that if you paid attention to Dr. Greer's conference a while back, you may actually have heard some spots that are not that are within my neck of the woods being mentioned, mostly for military craft. Now, do I suspect that this was ET in nature? Not really, because we do have several Air Force bases nearby. In fact, little fun fact about my area. You can look this up. It's completely true. FBI and military authorities within my area was actually responsible for helping shut down media coverage for UFOs after the Roswell incident. It's called the Twin Falls saucer hoax. You can look this up. It's readily available out there. But the story of it is, this was within the week, a couple weeks beforehand, we had the Kenneth Arnold sighting, who was actually, his business was actually operating out of Boise, Idaho. In fact, 20 years after his sighting, he actually tried to run for governor here. But anyway, that's a little side story. We had several sightings of craft within the weeks of it. Full-on flight formations, covering all sorts of the place. I will also say this. There are bombing ranges in the area. There is some hot tubs not too far from where I'm at. They're under the names of Miracle and Banbury Hot Springs. Very nice spot, natural hot springs, Olympic-sized pools, hot tubs. Just, I will say this: don't die in the hot tubs, because some of my contacts in law enforcement notified me of an incident where an elderly couple apparently passed away in one of the hot tubs, and no one went to check on them. I will say that. Anyway, these hot tubs, they're actually open to air. There's no roof on this facility except for like in the changing rooms, the main office, stuff like that. You can actually sit back, and when the local military is doing drill runs, doing bombing runs, you can actually sit there and watch as they're going. And if you aren't exactly aware of the operations being done, it does kind of look like something out of an alien invasion movie. So how much of this situation was overblown just because of public excitement involving Kenneth Arnold as well as Roswell? Who knows? It's one of those things that hard to say unless you were there. There's so many moving parts to these types of stories. All right, Fire Horse. Yikes. Yeah. Let's just say they were soup, the elderly couple. They were human soup. That's how bad. That's how long they've been cooking. Probably not something I should mention on YouTube Live, but oh well. This is Bald and Bonkers after all. So anyway, back to the story. You see how easy it is for me to get sidetracked? So I swear, since I met my girlfriend, it's gotten worse. Anyway, Twin Falls saucer hoax. The official story behind it is that some local teens in the area faked a UFO crash, essentially making a small 3-foot in diameter UFO, threw it into somebody's backyard, and the authorities were called in. Shortly after this incident was deemed to be a hoax, UFO coverage ceased in the media. Little fun fact about my area. Now, we'll say this. Recently, for those of you who followed me for a while now, you know that I've actually had quite a few interesting reports come in. About last year, roughly around this time, we had a mass sighting. A mass sighting to where the police were even called in to try to figure out what the hell this thing was. Large triangle-shaped craft flying around in the area. once again, it catches me. These reports catch me right as I'm at work. And it literally flew right above me from how the eyewitnesses came forward. I had at least almost 40 eyewitness reports put together. Able to check. I was able to put together a flight pattern where this thing went. And it went towards Sun Valley again, right where a lot of major Air Force bases are, and as well as where a lot of the elites like to come on vacation, especially for snowboarding. Tom Hanks, the Obamas, they like to pop in the area from time to time. Within this last week, I had an interesting little incident myself, and I was able to snag a few photos. Oh, there the fucker! Wait, why is he playing?
At 10 o'clock.
What do you mean?
You told me we were starting at 10 o'clock.
I didn't tell you we were starting then.
I did.
No, I didn't.
You did?
No, I didn't.
Hello, everybody. It did. That's terrible, isn't it? It's terrible, ladies and gentlemen. Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
It's not my fault. You don't pay attention.
When did you go live? Oh, you went on live 13 minutes. Yeah. You went and hit that button by mistake, hadn't you? You've been doing that.
No, I planned on it. No, I planned on it.
That's terrible. Terrible.
I completely planned on it.
I was in here checking my lottery and everything, ladies and gentlemen. I did not win. So we can't pay for that hair transplant for Dakota.
You need it more than I do, man.
I've actually still got some hair. See it? Look at the side.
Yeah,
I've got hair.
Get some on the side.
Now, if you don't realise that, I've actually got hair. It's at the back, the front.
Yeah. I still got a little bit of hair that comes in on the sides too, man.
Yeah.
Actually, noticed lately it's actually starting to come back on top too, which is weird.
Is it that tonic you've been using?
No, I haven't been using our tonic.
I was trying to plug in the plug. I'm trying to plug in the plug, man. So everybody will go and start buying the hair tonic.
We can only sell it legally in the US. We can only sell it legally in the US.
God, you're very quiet. We did turn this up a wee bit. Say something more interesting.
Quiet. My God.
I don't know. It's weird. My thing's just updated, and it's weird. It's all changed. The dashboard, though, in my laptop's all changed.
Yeah,
Windows. I'm going to have to move it.
Doing a lot of updates lately.
Oh, the bottom taskbar's not in the right place. So maybe over there, and the cloak's over there now, and it never used to be. Reverse. Anyway, what's been happening? I've seen you for ages.
Well, I was just about to tell people about UFO sighting I had.
Did you? You have a UFO sighting, man?
Oh yeah, it was fucking weird. I was out on the phone, enjoying the nice night, just barely got off of work. It was shortly after 3 o'clock in the morning, right?
Right.
And beautiful night, and obviously, with how weird things have been getting lately, all you have to really do these days is just look carefully at the stars long enough, and eventually you'll see something that's moving that shouldn't be moving.
Right.
So, the one that caught my most attention, right? Initially, I thought it was a shooting star, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was looking right over the moon, and all of a sudden you see this little white dot. All of a sudden, just shoot like it was shooting right over the moon or right off the surface of the moon. It all of a sudden got real freaking bright, dimmed down, and you could just watch it fly. Then it flew for about like 5 seconds, got real bright again, then took off. I wish I had some kind of video for that, man. I wish I had some kind of video.
That is interesting, that. Did you download that app? I tell you to download it was All About Beer that told me about it. Because, and you don't know, in the same area, somebody else might have seen that and put it on that app.
I fucking wish people would just look up, because there's been a number of times where
they're too busy. They're too busy doing this, New Dakota.
I know.
Along the road.
Well, lately it's been firing up fireworks, fucking hell. My neighbor scared the shit out of me yesterday.
Mm-hmm. I seen, there was a news article, I was watching TikTok this morning, and it was actually quite interesting. I'll need to see if I can find it and I'll send it to you. And the guy was watching the news and he says, listen, you need to watch this. And it was somewhere in Europe that's getting bombed now, right? I'm not going to mention the place, right? And the news presenter was watching the missiles coming out. Boom. And it was explosions, right? And the camera panned round for a millisecond and they seen it and they whipped the camera back. And there it was. There was a saucer just sitting watching them in the sky. And the guy froze it. It's a wee bit fuzzy and all that, but it is. It's a saucer. It's like a, what do you call it? It's the shape of an egg. And it's just sitting there. I'll see if I can find it after and I'll send it to you, man. Because I was like, wow. And obviously we know where this is. But came up and tried to say, but they were watching, obviously watching.
Historically speaking, anytime there's been major events like that, you know, there's always been reports of something in the sky just sitting there watching.
Look, I might actually, is this an open panel tonight?
I was thinking about it. What?
I don't know if Lewis is about. I was going to actually see if I could copy the link here. Let me see if I can copy the link here and send it to him. Just open my Facebook message.
Anyway.
Man. Just give,
so, Chris,
I can't see the screen, but I'll just give a sec to send this to myself so as I can, because he's no on Facebook. So just give a sec. I need to open something up. Right, when you go, man, fire away. What is it? Just give a sec.
Not from the moon.
Right, when you go, fire away.
No, sorry, I was just reading the chat, man. But anyway, I'm just gonna say, how the heck have you been, man?
I've been fine, man. I've been fine. I've been doing my 2-hour readings every day, every single day of the week.
That you have.
And I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been just constantly doing it, man. It just gives a sec to copy and paste this. So there's Lewis there. Just pop it and send it to him. There you go. Send that to him. If he sees it, he sees it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I've been all right, man. I've just been doing my tarot readings. It's been gaining a lot of subscribers. I've got a lot of subscribers to it. I don't know if you've noticed that. I'm shocked at that. Which I would like to say, there's a lot of people in the chat actually on my page. There's 3 people in there anyway. But everybody likes something free, don't they? Everybody likes something free. Of course. Come on, everybody loves something free. I've had to get new shelves to put all my bloody, what do you call it, tarot cards up. I don't know if you've noticed. Plus, I've got my aliens up the top. Hear no evil and see no evil. It's a woman and a man, so I've not named them yet. Can you see them?
I see them.
I had to actually glue them on. I had to super glue them on, right? Because I was actually sitting there the other night there, and they were just sitting there, and they fell off and hit me in the head. And I thought, bugger this, so I've super glued them to the gorilla glued them, as I should say. But I've put them next to the, what do you call it, the YouTube sign that YouTube sent me. But I've got them sitting there. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
They're quite smart. I must admit, they're quite smart. It was actually a present from my brother about 2 years ago.
But where's Speak No Evil?
You can buy another set, and I might buy another set.
No, where's Speak No Evil, man? Come on.
I know there's See No Evil, Speak No Evil.
Yeah, it's like you gotta have the complete set.
I have still to buy the other 2. Well, Ken, something, everybody donate to the channel and I'll buy the other 2. Tell you what, why don't you buy the 2 and put them behind you? And I'll have the 2 and you can have the 2.
Because my finances have been reallocated to something else.
Talking about finances, how's this thing going on that you were talking about to me?
Which one?
Money thing that you were talking about.
Oh, that. I don't find out officially until the middle of August, if I get it.
Yeah, I'm fair horse lawns. And why is it just a thing? It's a good thing, I must admit.
Oh yeah, it's a very good thing, and I figured, what the hell, toss in Bald and Bonkers, see what happens. But, ladies and gentlemen, Bald and Bonkers has actually been nominated for a $25,000 business grant.
I know, and don't you be going all the way to bloody Honolulu with that and say, "Aye, listen, Chris, don't worry about $5 left."
Well, no. I will say say this: if we get the funds, I was thinking we'll push forward on the documentary because that would just about cover it.
What, and put it out in like Amazon and other locations, Netflix and stuff like
that. That'll depend on the film partner we actually have. We basically put it on with them. They're the ones that help get it out to all these different platforms. So yes, it could end up on like Redbox, Gaia, Netflix, Hulu. A lot of the major ones are partnered up with it to find new content. So we have some pretty good chances of striking something big here, man.
That's good.
Nothing's official yet. The paperwork's just barely been sent in to make it official a couple days ago. We'll see what happens.
That's good. That is good. I hope it does happen because that documentary definitely needs to be made. It needs to be made because there's a lot of story. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in that needs to come out, and I think it would help, especially in the UFO side of stuff. A lot in the UFO community. You know what I mean?
From when it comes to UFOs, spirits, cryptids, all that, the one thing that is going to make the most impact as far as showing that yes, this stuff, there's something to this stuff, and it's out there, something is going on. The more we need more people to step up.
I've just had an idea about
that. Tell their story.
I've just had an idea. I'll tell you after the show. I don't want to say it now because I was just actually thinking. You see how you usually get people coming on your show, and obviously we would have got like Mike to come on the show. I don't know if he would have been part of your like documentary or that, but I will say that I see his son Pete. I can't tell you where his son Pete is now because I don't share his personal stuff, but he is away in an investigation, and you probably have an idea where he's away. Dakota, be froze for me. Guys, is Dakota froze? I think he's froze. Are you there, Dakota? It's a good job I'm here. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. The aliens have took him. Every time it kicks me out.
I don't know why it kicks us both out when it happens.
I don't know why that happens. I thought the aliens would. No, but it's weird that I mentioned Mike and then that's all of a sudden that happened. But Mike, again, you were talking about maybe having bits of Mike in your documentary. Mentioned that because he was like in like right into creepy stuff. Like, but his son, the new I don't know if you watch Twitter or no, you look at Twitter or not. Well, no Twitter anymore. But you came up and talking about X. His son's away. You see where he is the new? Did you see that? About the case
no, I haven't seen stuff from Pete yet.
It's a strange creature that's kiddles. It's a human, but it's not a human, and it's morphed itself, and it's in the woods in this community.
You have to be a little bit more specific. There's a lot of stories like that out there.
Give me a sec here. I'm not fast like you are. I mean, come on. Where is it? He sent me a message. I'll tell you what the creature's called. What the new. Like seemingly it was in a community, and it dropped its disguise in this community. Now it's called a suspected Korean cryptid.
Okay, that doesn't limit it down.
Known as a Jesus Christ, I'm going to butcher this because I'm dyslexic. The Jagson Bino. Tell you what, I'll just send this to you, right? Because obviously, I'll just copy the message, send it to you in Facebook because it's just I just butcher everything, right? So there's no point.
Yeah,
me even trying to pronounce
a hard enough time with the English.
There you go. Check that. That's what he sent us, right? So that's where he's away to investigate the new.
Jackson Bino.
Aye, I did pronounce it right. I did pronounce it right.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I've. Oh, that's right. It's a type of mimic.
Here's the second message, but obviously don't tell everybody the full thing, but because this is personal and that. But that's interesting what he told me after that. And then messages. It's been. I'll tell you after that. It's been seemingly it's went into the woods or something like that in the mountains.
Sounds about
But
right.
it keeps coming back into the village or the town or whatever it is and nibbling on all their livestock and stuff.
What the hell ticked it off?
Seemingly, he says here, it reminds him of Dad spent in Mexico, and the Jaguar Men. It's kind of like the Jaguar. Ever heard of the Jaguar Men? I've heard about that. I'm sure I heard Mike talk about that one night. But seemingly, it's crazy stuff.
Goes to these types of things. You can guess a lot of their patterns similar to a lot of wildlife. If it's coming down from the mountains to start hunting, what the hell's pushing it out of its turf?
But it's actually mimicking one of the people in the town or wherever it is there.
Mm-hmm.
Actually mimic him.
Still.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shape-shifting stuff out there, man, but still,
I says to him,
pushed it out?
I says, what he's got to do with this? I says, he's got to try and kill it or something like that. And he says, no, they can't do that. They can only try and drive it deep, deep into the mountains and hope it doesn't come back.
But that's the thing. Again, what the hell drove it out in the first place?
That's a good point. You don't know. You don't know. There could have been like a summoning or something like that. You don't know. There could have been some weird.
I'm not talking. It's like you don't even have to go into supernatural related stuff, man. It could very well be something pushed it out of its turf. It could be camping areas. It could be construction work. It could be that there was a fire in that area. That's what, like Lauren said. If it can't find it for some reason, it can't find no food. It's gonna push it. It's gonna start looking elsewhere. Or the wife kicked it.
Or the wife kicked it. Well, Pete, if you're watching this communication, you need to get to go back with its wife again. Box of flowers, box of milk tray, something like that. You know, it'll be back home, not annoying the village people. You know.
Well, that could be interpreted as something else.
I'll tell you something new. I've been watching quite a lot. Pete's actually got me into that. It's into watching all these cryptid videos. I mean, the real ones out there, not the fake ones. And there's so much scary stuff out there. I mean, it would shock you what's really out there. Do you think all the people that get into national parks that just disappear, never to be seen again?
Well, that's a conspiracy with the National Wildlife Service.
No.
That Teddy Roosevelt, avid outdoorsman, he essentially founded that to secure off these national park locations because he knew there was something in there.
Yeah.
That if we ticked it off, it was not going to be pretty.
It's very interesting, but it's very dark and disturbing at the same time.
It can be.
I mean,
there's a lot of things out there about wildlife people don't realize. And you know what? Because it's such a social media thing, and I understand the logic behind it, is all these women saying they would pick a bear over a man to be secluded in the woods any day. They would rather be stuck with a bear than stuck with some man. I'll say this. I understand that it's about, your own fears, about, the man turning against you, doing something to harm you and all that. But at the same time, you got to remember, bears tend to eat ass first.
Oh, yeah. You ever seen the Twix advert? Some like them crunchy and some like them chewy.
No, I'm saying, when a bear goes to kill its prey and start eating it, and usually eats it alive.
Yeah.
They tend to go where the most meat is, and that's right about the ass.
I mean, look, here's a question for you. Obviously, in Scotland, we don't have bears anymore, but a long time ago, we did have bears at one point until they were all hunted out, right? It was extinct. Well, in the UK, they're basically extinct now, unless you go to a zoo. But what's that bear spray? What's actually in it? Why does it scare them off, Simon?
It's more of an irritant.
Right.
Basically messes with their eyes, messes with their nose. It's kind of like how they say that, like certain dog collars, they'll spray out like a Listerine kind of thing. It burns.
I was watching a show about that. I was watching oh God, what's the name of that show? And they talk about terrible things that's happened to people. It's a podcast. and it streamed, and they were actually this guy was on the. He
Ah,
bought one of the. He bought
I
one of
think I know
those
which one you're
collars.
talking about.
He bought one of those collars, and he thought, right, I wonder how this works. So he
put it on himself.
He put it on his cell. He went woof, 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 and nothing was happening. Nothing was happening. So he taken it off, and he was looking at it, and he went woof, and he went psst. You seen the one where the guy puts the electric fence?
Yeah.
Round about it says. And he uses the. I mean, everybody else would just get a normal electric fence, but no, this guy had to go to the animal farm shop and had to get the 27-kilometer one, which has got a picture of an a cow upside down on fire on the side of it.
Yeah.
Look,
I've seen.
There's some crazy folk out there that would do these stupid things, man.
I know. Stupid people are a reason why a lot of people have jobs. But, let's kind of get back into some of the weird stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of stupid people, you see that more monoliths have started to pop up?
Is that right, stupid? There was one that appeared in a swamp down in England. It was a marsh, it's called. I can't remember. Dartmoor. There was one appeared in Dartmoor. But I don't know if there's been any more appeared in the United States.
Yeah, there's been at least 3 more that popped up in the U.S.
I think it's an artist thing, man. Come on, it's an art.
I know.
think it's some crazy.
I mean, let's think. I've already had people try to say, "Oh, it's ET" because they saw, the 2001 Space. It's like I was about to say, if it's ET, then ET doesn't know how to fucking work a welder. If ET, you would think the ETs would have something a little better than nuts and bolts to help secure it to the ground.
Mm-hmm. Look, the one that I seen in Dartmoor, like, oh, it's the aliens for the moon, the aliens. It's put together with self-tappers. That's, again, self-tap screws. The automatic, for people that don't know what that is, but that's what that is. You don't need to, like, drill a hole for them because they automatically do it. I'm just trying to explain it for people that don't know what self-tappers are. Look, do you really think the aliens would do that? They've probably got technology where they could make a monolith with no seams, no welds, or nothing on it.
Mm-hmm.
There's Lewis.
Uh-oh. He actually fucking showed up.
He showed up. He's not been sucked into the time warp, and he's not been taken back to an alternate reality Earth.
How's it going? You alright?
Aye, it's fine, Lewis. I thought I'd invite you in.
How's my mic? Is my mic loud? Because I don't know.
Dakota has left the building again. It'll kick me out, and it'll bring me when he comes back in. It'll kick me out. That's weird, that man.
One sec. Sorry, one sec.
No problem. I'll be back shortly when.
Fucking buttons.
I'm telling you, you need to stop playing with their buttons. More sticky together and all that kind of stuff. You need to clean your keyboard a wee bit more.
I probably do because some of the ants. We've been having a bit of an ant problem, and I found ants in my keyboard.
Really? They're actually coming into the house?
Yep.
Do you can actually buy wee trap? I ken somebody that bought wee traps for them. You can actually buy these wee boxes.
Yeah, we have a few of those laying around the house, but it's a matter of keeping the cats to leave them the fuck alone.
Yeah. I've got a wasp problem now. Again, yellow jackets.
You know, I got wasps that are trying to set up nests in my fucking car windows mirrors.
Mm-hmm. I've kind of like that. I've got a pet spider that lives in my driver's side mirror.
So yeah, in my mirrors, I have wasps that are setting up nests. I didn't even know until I went to work. I shut my door, and all of a sudden, my door started buzzing. It
was quite funny because my dad's car's quite modern, really modern.
Oh, that's an ugly shot.
It's like inside his car. It's like a Starship Enterprise, with all the kind of weird dash buttons and stuff. But he accidentally, in the hot weather, he left the window down, and 2 moths were attracted to the glowing dash because he hadn't locked the dash. So he locked the car and came into the house. And what did it keep doing? It kept setting off the alarm because it's obviously... It kept setting off the alarm, so I had to leave the car open all night until they, died.
What on earth? Sorry, my camera just seems to be blurry.
That's all right. That's just because you're getting sucked into the time vortex there, Lewis. You'll be fine.
I was about to say, I think you blew on it too hard, man.
You want? It's in shock right now because it's never happened to him before.
How are you doing anyway? You all right? Everyone good?
Fine, man. I were fine, just having a chill out night, having a wee show, man. We've just been a bit awfully busy this weather. Yeah. Did any of you see that? Right? I kind of mentioned that to you the day, Dakota. Did you see that about the Titanic Museum?
I know, right?
This
is annoying.
So,
sorry.
Just to establish the situation for anybody who hasn't heard about it, it's a museum in Illinois. They did just have some major storms. We're just gonna note that right now. Now, all of a sudden, in one of their exhibits, they have a massive flood. Just seemingly pop out of nowhere. They inspected it. Now they're saying that they had inspectors come in. There's no leaks in the roof. There's no busted pipes. There's nothing wrong with the floors. Nothing. They can't find where this water came from. It was the Titanic exhibit.
If you watch it really carefully, there's a Titanic plate a bit off the hull sitting where the water comes from.
Yeah. That's one of the bit that's a little weird.
I've heard tales of like haunted objects bleeding and all this kind of stuff. Right? See, there's a place near me and it's an old jail, and you have to go down this flight of steps, and it goes back to like the 14th, 15th century. And there has been a few times there's been like blood just appeared. Anywhere. Well, they think it's blood. I think I came with it as I said to the guy, he wasn't too happy with me. There's iron bars, right? There's iron bars in the jail, right? And it's next to the window, which was open at the time, right? What's red? What happens to metal? It rusts.
Yeah, iron.
Yeah.
So the rust is going on the floor and it's sitting, it's settled, and that's causing it. Well, they were telling everybody it was blood. Which I actually think it's no. I think it's just the rust running down because of the dampness in the cellar where the jailhouse is. I think it's just dampness running down the metal. It's rusting, and then it's causing the kind of blood effect at the bottom of the floor. And I think I honestly think that's what it is.
Well, I guess would be right up there. I can't remember exactly where this was, but it was a statue of Jesus that apparently started to cry, right? All these people were like, oh my God, it's a miracle, it's a miracle. Then they found out that the reason why the statue of Christ was crying, the source of the water was a backed up toilet.
It was water with its own holiness. I hope the priest didn't get up and go, oh yes, it's
no, they were drinking from it.
No,
they were drinking from it, dude.
No. Oh God. That's terrible, man.
Oh my God.
Terrible.
There's been loads of cases with that. You know, there's been where folk have just it's leaked onto the roof, it's fell down the banister, and it's hit on top of Jesus, and then everybody thinks Jesus is crying in the church. It's because the church doesn't get the money to repair the roof. That's why it's doing it.
There's a funny. Go on.
What's that, man?
No, I was saying there's a story. Sorry, I'm gonna take my earphone off because I can't hear myself. There's a gives no meaning.
That's a good one.
Oh goodness. So Amanda, when she was in Zimbabwe, when she went to school there, they had like they would go to like this church every once a week or whatever, and when they people were sort of like saying, oh, God doesn't exist and this and that, and there was like controversy between Christianity and whatever. Anyway, one time she was there, and I can't remember exactly what happened, but someone was saying something, and basically the roof collapsed I'll need to ask her. I need to ask her. But basically, that someone was cursing about God or something, and then like all of a sudden the roof collapsed and something like drastic happened. But I can't remember exactly what it was. But it was like, yeah, I don't know. It was a really bad story. Sorry about this, guys. But yeah, I need to.
Fine.
Mans, babe. Sorry. Let me ask her. 1 second.
Oh,
Oh God! But it's quite interesting. I mean, what about that other case? You've no seen it. I'll need to find it now. Let me look it up. It was the case where the guy in Africa is selling plots of land in heaven. He's actually made multi-million.
You were telling me about this.
I'll see if I can find it. It's a African preacher. What's the? Let's see. I didn't notice you've been kicked out again there. The pastor is selling land in heaven for $100 per. I'll send it to you here. Here we go. I just clicked on the first one that I seen. Here it's here, Dakota. I'll send it to you, the new one. There you go. It's on its way to you. I've not even had a chance to read it yet.
Yeah, 1 second.
Buy land in heaven from $100 square meter.
Oh,
that's actually
right,
quite
I'm back.
good,
Sorry, guys.
I mean,
guys and girls.
I mean, this is interesting. You can buy land in heaven for $100 per square meter.
And this dude's been doing it since 2017.
Yep, and seemingly I think he's made about $40 or $50 million. He's sold quite a bit of heaven because the afterlife. The afterlife. I mean, if you really think about this, is like infinite, right? So this guy's got to make a fortune. I'm going to day one tomorrow, so I've patented this, ladies and gentlemen. So if anybody steals this, you have to give me some of your money. I'm selling plots of land. Me and Lewis is going into a deal, and so is Dakota. We're selling plots of land in hell. Why not have a holiday location in hell? Everybody wants a warmer climate. Everybody wants to experience the warmth. Hell. What do you think? That would get your money.
You want to have a chat with some diplomats and politicians over history? Yeah, here's your chance.
But how can somebody do that? How can somebody actually? How can folk fall for that? $100. I mean. Dude, it's not as if they're going to build their dream home in heaven.
Here's the thing. Mm-hmm. There is actually a part of the brain that reacts to religion. Has a need for religion, and whenever it gets triggered, it seems like all other forms of the brain just shut off. Clear thinking and all that. They've even found that belief in UFOs triggers it. Mm. Which would explain
I think
a lot.
100,000 people's paid $100. If you work that out,
that many people are dead.
What I was saying before, Amanda said this just now. She said she was like bunking off of classes at school and misbehaving and stuff, and then they would go to this church thing once a week or whatever, and they were like mocking God and whatever. They didn't believe in none of that. Obviously, there's a spiritual sense to everything. Everything like there is spirituality, right? But they were mocking it, and then basically when they were mocking the whole concept, something fell behind them, like a chair fell over, and they were like, "What the hell?" And then her friend said to her, "Oh, I don't believe in none of this God rubbish kind of thing." And then the roof collapsed or something. So it's quite yeah, I don't know. Coincidence? Maybe it's the roof. Someone said about the lead being taken off the roof in the comments.
Yeah, Chris was stealing lead off the roof of churches again.
No, but I will say that. No, my village at one point used to have about 5 churches. Now we've got one church with about 2 members. That's how Christianity is dying out in the UK. It is dying out in the UK if you really think about it. But the church down the road for me was quite interesting. It was built in maybe, I think it was built in maybe the 1800s or something like that, right? But see the tiles. The tiles actually had fool's gold in it.
No way.
And see when we were kids, you could actually when the light hit it, it reflected. But they've went and taken off all the slates now, and they've replaced them with these new ones that just they don't look the part. But the other day I was down at the chapel in my village. It was built in 1242 or something like that. What's that? Nearly 1,000 years old. Because somebody told me something, and it's actually got the oldest working clock in Scotland. I think it was Mary Queen of Scots that actually donated the clock. Well, she paid for it. But I noticed something in the site. I'll send it in a minute to you. I don't know if you can show people on here. But I noticed something on the side of the building that I've never noticed before. The Knight Templar cross.
No way.
Now, I know that Knights Templars and Masonic Masons, if you want to go down this road, left markings on these buildings, right? You'll know this, Lewis.
Yeah.
They used to leave markings. But only the churches that were significant to do with like Templar stuff, they put the cross.
Right.
I'll send this to you, the new Dakota. I'll see if I can find it the new so you can show everybody. I think it's in here somewhere. I was taking. I'll need to go to Mother one.
That's interesting, man.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I was thinking, like I've said before, with all the old buildings, the old churches, which they classed them as churches, but I don't believe they were churches. I believe that they were something for either some kind of electric. It's kind of in the air of what people believe, but some kind of energy harvesting places. Some of them weren't, some of them were. Do you know the old cathedrals and stuff like that? I've said before.
Yeah.
Well, they've got antennas and stuff on them. So, but with the buildings, I don't believe that I believe that the Masons just etched their mark into the buildings to make it look like they had been part of the construction when really they hadn't. They were just basically taking.
Save that to that.
I'm
just saving all the photos of the church.
And also, these buildings are sub-level, like they've been built, but they're obviously I've said this before. They're like there's layers of mud that have covered up the ground foundation, so really they're probably twice as tall as what today.
Here we go.
Hey, what is up, Lawrence?
Good evening, lads.
Hey,
how are you doing?
Good to see you, my friend.
You all right?
Hello. How are you?
Yeah, we're here. We're live. Should count for something for how crazy these days are.
Is that a right international group?
I'm going to have to send you one at a time, Dakota. For some weird reason, it says unable to send.
No, I'm going to leave them up. I can't see down there.
That's weird. That never had that before. Why is that? It's not letting me send the one with the Templar's Cross. That's weird. I was making videos. Right, let's see. I'll have to do it, man. I'll have to do it this way, one at a time.
Send it to the guy who usually has the most connection issues. Smart move.
You'll fine. I'll show you what the church is like. It's a really interesting church. The reason I say it's the first time I've noticed the Knights Templar's Cross, right? Across the road for it is the oldest Masonic lodge in the UK. The first Masonic lodge in the UK. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, yeah, it's able to send again. Why is that unable to send? Maybe let me unable to send.
Please don't try to send in all those pixelated crap you usually use.
No, it shouldn't.
That's some standards, man, for quality.
Oh no, this is quality stuff, man. This is
Well, yeah, when you can actually fucking see shit.
Well, you'll see stuff in this one. Trust me, you'll see stuff in this one.
Stutter's starting to kick in. God. Anyway,
why is that not letting me send that?
Oh, look at the tiny hole.
I don't know why that's not sitting like that. Show the cross anyway. That's interesting.
Yeah, right there.
I see it. That's all you need to see anyway. But The clock itself is it's all like wooden clogs, like cogs inside, because it is one of the oldest clocks in Britain. But you see the Templar cross in that. I had never noticed that before. Never noticed that before.
That's crazy.
And it's very unusual. The only other church I know in Scotland that's got that cross is Roslin Chapel. So there's a moth flitting about. See if it lets me send it now. Yeah, it's
funny because that same symbol is on. No,
that's the Templar cross.
Yeah.
It's an interesting graveyard.
What's the name to that church, Chris?
That would be St Bride's Chapel, Douglas, Lanarkshire, Scotland. Here, I'll get you the location for it now. I'll post it in the chat.
Yeah.
Well, they don't normally leave that mark for no reason.
No, that's what I'm thinking. See, inside the church is really interesting. I was going to try and do a video about it. It's actually, see on the Bald and Bonkers channel, there's actually video on the Bald and Bonkers channel off inside that church. I don't know if you could bring it up or no, Dakota.
No, you wanted me to search through all the fucking thousands of videos we got up.
I'll find it for you.
You son of a bitch!
Come on, I'm trying to give you an entertainment here. Come on, this is. I'll find it in a minute because obviously, it's like
I want to see inside this church now.
Why is it not letting me send the photos? That's so weird. That I just don't understand that. Hey, give me a minute here, guys. I'm just going to mute my mic here for a second.
Sorry, man.
Pick it up on your own end, man. You have all the same controls I do.
While you searching through, scrolling for ages. Where is it?
Yeah, that's his way of hiding the fact that he watches porn while we're on live.
Nothing like a bit of porn in the afternoon. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Let me have a look for this thing, man. Hang on.
Oh God.
What is it? So it's on the Bald and Bonkers channel, right? Okay. Let's have a look. Let's have a wee look.
We'll find it there now.
And poor Lawrence is just standing there wondering what the hell's going on.
No, I'm just curious.
I'm curious too.
I'll find it.
You mentioned
for some
this
weird
shit
reason,
last
YouTube's
minute. No prep.
Well, last minute
time,
you
man.
tell me
Come
when
on.
they started to 10 o'clock, and then I come in and it was live. I mean, it's not my fault.
I never said specified we were starting at 10 o'clock.
Bad communications issues here, man. Come on, communication issues.
You're
Terrible.
worse at communication than a woman.
I know, I'm terrible. I'll tell you about that.
How many channels have you got on there? There's Bald and Bonkers Network channel. Then you got
I go Scotland channel. I've actually got 7 channels.
Wow.
I'm actually building another channel with 900 subscribers.
Jeez.
But he's a sec here. I'll not take a long for that.
I know people can be kind of picky and wanting certain kind of content from certain channels, but that just seems like such a waste of trying to put everybody into this one little box. I mean, humans are not that one-dimensional. You know what I mean?
Right. It was one of my first videos I ever did, and this was years ago. I mean, Jesus, it was Douglas St Bride's Chapel. It's interesting because there was a guy called the Black Douglas, right? And this is going back to like maybe he was friends with Robert the Bruce and stuff like that. And what happened was he went to fight in the Holy Wars in Jerusalem. And he went there. And then like 6 or 7 years later, because you've got to remember, they went there the horseback and ship and stuff like that. It wasn't as quick. A box appeared at the castle, and it was his heart. When Jerusalem fell, the Islam or whoever it was took him, killed him, cut his heart out, put his heart in the box, and sent it back to the king because he was one of the knights of the realm. And they also sent back a sword with him. His sword.
Sorry.
And that's all inside that chapel. It's all inside it. but it's actually got a mausoleum below. The very, very below it's got a big mausoleum where all the knights are meant to be, and there's a tunnel runs for there, and so on. So says. It's an interesting place. Put it that way. You could go in there, see outside, it could be like 32 Celsius outside. You go in there and it would be probably about 5 Celsius inside the church. Never gets any hotter.
Well,
because it's
that would feel fucking nice right now, man.
That's about how hot it is over here. It does feel interesting. I sent you that video there, so it's not a video, it's just like photos. It's just like photos with like a bit of music in the background. Memories, it's called. And it shows you what it's like inside. Obviously, you can't get into the vaults because they're sealed. And only now and again they'll let you in if you're, I don't know how to get in, but there you go. There is another video of me walking about inside it and stuff like that, but I don't know what that is. So you'll have to.
Oh, yeah, this was like. I mean, you should.
That's one of my first videos, man. That's.
We could have done this for like an archive special, man. Come on.
Well, I didn't care. I forgot about it. I mean, I've got that many bloody channels. I manage channels for people too, so I forget.
And you judge me for getting involved with some of the projects I do.
I know, but I like to help people and stuff like that. But it's an interesting church. I mean, where I stay is interesting because it's.
Anyway. I was just bringing it up.
Salute you.
What? What'd I do?
No.
What?
I'm drinking my Iron Brew tonight. I got a big pallet delivered yesterday.
Oh, God, I could kill for some. Sounds good. Anyway. Shall I start this video?
I fire away. It's just got music, so you might as well just mute it. I don't know if the music copyright it or no. I don't know.
Oh well.
There's no. I'm not talking.
Oh well.
It's extreme. I got flag copyright for my own damn music, man.
I know. See, that's what it's like inside. I mean, I think it's 12.94 or something.
Oh wow.
It was.
That sounds right about the timeline then. The 1298 up to the 13.5 century.
There was a court at the back where they hung the people.
Pope had an order there, sanctioned against that.
Yeah.
I don't believe it's 1,000 years. I think that the dates are 1,000 years out.
Dates, aye.
I feel like there's only if you say it's 1292, I think it's really 292. It's only like 700 odd years ago or whatever it is. No, yeah, because all the letters before the numbers, as in like I something. You know, it isn't like 19 something. It's I or J or whatever. But they say there's part to do with the it's to do with the Bible or something to do with specific figures or something. But I just think it's just we're in the year now. We're in the year. Would be in the year 1020. No, sorry. Yeah, it would be in the year 1024. If you used to work it out without the first letter.
Lewis, you ever thought about putting together a book with all your little theories and stuff like that?
You should. Yes, man.
Seriously.
Man.
Seriously.
Yeah. Would be interesting.
So here we go.
People don't need to know my brain, the way my mind works. you don't want to read the way I think about things. Oh God.
So the church basically the church was built in 1330, right? But before that, there was a courthouse on the grounds where they hung people, right? They were marched across for the jail, which is across the road, right next door to the first Masonic lodge in Scotland. Right, so they marched them across, they hung the people, and then they decided to build the church. It was the third Earl of Douglas, Sir James of Douglas, who died in 1330. Here we go. The mausoleum under the church is the Black Douglas. He was known to be ruthless. He was friends with Robert, but he was known to be extremely ruthless. I mean, if you stole a sheep, or you stole something, I'm seriously, he would kill you and he would kill your family. That's what he was like.
Ruthless.
Oh yeah. I mean, the play. I've never noticed that before. Not ever noticed that before, and it's weird because I came from here. I was born here, and that, and it was somebody says to me, says, "Oh, did you ken about the cross?" And I'm like, "What cross?" And I went and looked, and there it was. No, even people that have been born in this village that have lived here in their 70s didn't know about that, which is strange. Makes you wonder. It makes you wonder why would you not notice it until now? It makes you wonder if you went into a different time dilation or something like that. You know what I mean? But it's weird. It's weird because I have never seen that. Ever seen that? I studied that at church for my school, for my secondary school, and I did a paper thing on it and that. And I cannot remember that cross being there. But now there's a cross.
Do you not think it might have been there, but no one's just noticed it because they just don't look carefully at things? Because that was a bit. I'm saying it's difficult to see. I looked at it and it's like, oh yeah.
I do know they've cleaned the side of the building, and it makes me wonder. It makes me wonder. Maybe they've taken the moss off the side of the turret holding the clock, and it's and it's revealed that. But it's. If you really work it out, I'm 42 miles from Roslyn Chapel. I'm 42 miles. Roslyn Chapel is an amazing place. Dakota, did you not go there when you were coming here in Scotland? Did you not go there?
A little bit.
Roslyn
yeah,
Chapel.
We did a tour inside Roslyn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That place is.
We did.
That place is amazing inside it. And
it is.
There's some weird stuff to do with that place. It's just, it doesn't even look like a church. It just doesn't fit as a church. It doesn't, because there's a rule when people built churches years ago. They face a certain direction. All churches face like I don't know if the Catholic Church is different. That's exactly. But Roslyn Chapel doesn't point that way. It points somewhere else. Again, it's different. And then if you think the outside of Roslyn Chapel is weird, see when you go inside it, it's unbelievable. Do you know there's under Roslyn there's a chamber that's never been opened, I think, since the 1700s. It was sealed up and no one's allowed to go in.
No way.
No.
But
because it runs through multiple ley lines. Yeah, it runs through multiple ley lines and stuff. There's been a lot of UFOs seen run about it. A lot of UFOs have been spied near it.
I see a video earlier about some kind of like stargates or something, somewhere in like Egypt or something. Some guy was saying that there was like a portal or something in a certain place, and they see, or not in Egypt. I think it was Egypt. Somewhere, wherever it was, they went through this portal and they could see the pyramids being built. Apparently so, and they were being built by UFOs and stuff. But people were there as well. This is something that came across on some video I see earlier, and I was like, "Oh, interesting." Whether it's true or not, I don't know.
I heard one the other night there about the pyramids, and I found it quite interesting. Everybody thinks there were power stations, and there were this, and there were that, and there was something else. But somebody, it was a guy who's a trans medium on TikTok. Oh, what's his name again? Is it Lazar? No, it's not that. It's he speaks to the Federation or whatever they're called.
Yeah, Lazar. That's not Lazar. What's his name?
You know who I'm talking about? He's a wee kind of bald guy, and he sits like that with his hands like that. And somebody asked him a question. He says, "What was the pyramids?" And he says, "The Earth goes through every 12,000 years a different cycle. Every 12,000 years, it goes through a certain cycle, and the pyramids were built to recognize this cycle." Because at one time inside the king's tomb, you got to remember this, the Egyptians, I think, took them over as great places to bury their dead. Let's face it. It was a great place to bury their dead. And I will say this, they maybe copied them a wee bit and thought and built their own kind of wee chambers and stuff like that. But he says
Chris,
at one time...
When did you say the cycle was every 12,000? Is that what you said?
Every 12,000 years, the Earth goes through this change. But it's not
you
just
kind of wonder what was built before the pyramids to pick up on that 12,000 years ago.
How old is the pyramids, Dakota? Do we know? I don't know what age the pyramids are. Let's have a quick look.
I think they're.
I've heard that. What I've heard is, well, what I've heard and what I've seen from some of these, so say flat earthers, because I'm just going to put it like that. I'm not saying anything to do with flat earth, but because the earth is bigger than what we're told, right? That's just a gimme. If you look at the moon, you can see the moon represents the spitting image of the earth. If you look at the continents, they might match up with the moon, right? If you get a map and actually look at, not proper map, if you get them sort of Google Earth, you can do it better with rather than just a standard map, because the map's all out of shape and stuff. But part of the earth is not represented, but the moon is showing a representation of the earth. So like if the earth is, say, 3 times the size, the way that the orbit is, etc., parts of the earth are not seeing sunlight, right? So those parts of the earth will just be basically frozen over. And as the cycle of the planetary systems and the bodies and everything sort of revolve around everything, parts of the Earth's magnetic field shifts over time as well, which also where the sun beats on the Earth changes over time. So basically what you get is parts of the Earth which change accordingly to this sort of whole bigger picture. Does that make sense? So basically you've got parts that will become unfrozen and parts that will become frozen, right? And then that will kind of explain why things become buried in dirt and whatever. Does that make sense? No?
It does. It does.
So they go through cycles. That's why you've got obviously the northern hemisphere. People they're saying it's the northern and the southern hemisphere. We can't see how far south it is because they don't show us. But there's parts of the Earth which we can't see on, for instance, the ISS that travels around the Earth. They only show us part of that part of the journey. Then they cut the feed. Or I'm not saying that the Earth's flat. I'm saying the Earth's spherical. I know it's round, but they get to a point on the video and then they cut it. They don't let you see past certain points every single time. You'll never see a 24-hour time lapse of the ISS going around the Earth because there's land which is hidden from us. A bit like the Truman Show, you know. They're only showing us certain continents they want us to see.
I've heard that, Lewis.
And I really believe that's the case, because if you look at the moon, you can look at a moon map and you can look at the Earth and you can point out all these places that exactly match up with Earth, and then there's part of the moon that's basically not being represented on the Earth map. So why is it on the moon but it's not on the Earth map? And then it kind of makes sense to why the line of sight is different for like the flat earthers think, oh, you can't see the curvature because it has to be a set distance. But actually, if you're being lied to, the distance of the curvature would have to be greater than what it is because the Earth is bigger in size. Does that make sense?
Oh, aye. The Earth is.
So they would think, oh, over 2 miles, you're going to lose a few millimeters. Actually, it's over maybe 20 miles, you're going to lose 2 millimeters. See what I'm saying? Yeah. It would make sense then. Then that just makes people believe it's flat when it's not.
Aye, it's like the maps. It's like the maps are no real. Maps are no real. Everybody
yeah, they're all well. They're real to an extent.
America's not as big as people think it is, and Africa's actually a lot bigger than America. It's you got to remember the British Empire. They did you got to remember in their time. They drew the UK as the big, well, no, the UK, the British Empire. They drew their land as the biggest because they were the ones that ruled and made the maps and stuff like that. But it's no. See, if you get the true look at what the Earth looks like, America looks totally different. It's like stretched out, and it's the same with like Australia. It's the same with the continent, Africa and stuff like that. It's totally much bigger. It is much bigger. The maps that you see and you're used to at school are made up shit. Totally made up. They're no real. It's no what you think it is. And the pyramids, they say, is 4,500 years old, right? But there's speculation that they could be over 100,000 years old. That's the Great Pyramid. And
apparently it's been underwater before as well. So
yes,
that kind of explains what I'm talking about, the Earth going through these shifts in sort of not the climate. So it's going to suddenly be underwater. It'd have to literally be the Earth would either have to change its axis or some kind of situation like that, or if not, it's like part of the Earth is frozen, gets melted, part of it becomes dark, and then the water will obviously go to wherever the melted ice. Actually, then again, saying that, I'm wrong in what I'm saying there, because ice only takes up, well, ice is less dense than actual water. It's like in a solid form. So if it melts, it would just stay the same sort of level. But if there was, but if there was I don't know.
Unless the ice is on land, because then it would add to the seas and it would rise.
So,
if the ice in the water melts, the seas will no rise.
Yeah.
But if the ice on the land and it melts, the seas will rise. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Because you get a glass and you fill it with ice.
That's for certain.
Yeah.
Are we not in a period in our turn in our universe where the planet is passing in such a way that regardless of what we do here, the adverse effect on our planet is there naturally, and as regards increase in temperatures, ice, melting. We've done deep bore drilling in the past, back 60s, 70s, 80s, and we've already proven that there has been dramatic weather changes on our planet. God knows how long that. And it looks like we've come to that period where we're now moving through that point where, regardless of what we do, we're successful. We're to the mercy of the zone and the point of space where we're sitting right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Granted, we can do what we can do, but the ice already told the history on what had happened. And the more archaeology that's done can also tell certain stories to that effect as well. But unfortunately, some of the writing is never really released to the point where we can be updated.
Did you ever hear, Dakota, I think you ken about this. Did you ever hear about the case in Russia? And it was I think it was Siberia. And it was the Russian coal miners. And they were digging down, and it was one of the deepest coal mines. And they came across a metal hammer. You came up talking about, didn't you, Lewis? They came across a metal hammer. Just the end of the metal hammer, the shaft and all that, it was rotted away. And you can actually look this up. I'll look it up in a minute. But there's actually things that's been found, mechanical things that have been found in coal. Everybody's got to remember coal is dead matter, and it's dead trees and plant life and stuff that's barely, well, that's what they say it is. I think there's been civilizations on this earth. I think are we know the third time, Dakota? I'm sure I've heard that people talk about that we're the third race that's been on this earth.
There's been a couple that have been before us in a way, matter of speaking. Yeah.
I think we've come from. Go on.
No, I was just going to say it makes you wonder. It just makes you wonder how technologically advanced they were. That's what I'm trying to say. How long did they last before they were wiped slate clean and before the new race came about? So, I mean, we're quite technologically advanced now, but we're not really that technical. We've got smartphones and.
But that's the thing, though. I think we would be, though, if it weren't for all the systems that have been put in place to just dull us down and stop us from achieving that.
The dull our minds.
10,000 years.
There's so many really, really. Like, when you look at young children, right? You see how crazily how amazing their minds are, and then give it 10 or 15 years, they just go downhill. Not all of them, but most of them. But just because of what they've been fed and the salt sugar and all that fluoride and all that other stuff that goes along with it, And then the computers, it's like the phones, constantly staring at the phones. It's all just training people to become less to have the smallest concentration span possible, and that's what stops you from being aware, isn't it? You need to have a concentration. to be able to.
If you ever watched that Life After People and all that, they say 10,000 years, and 10,000 years and a billion years is nothing, right? If we all disappeared tonight, if we just all disappeared, every human on the earth disappeared, right? In 10,000 years, there'd be nothing left. Nothing. There might be like artifacts under the ground and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like maybe stuff that's made out of galvanized steel, but eventually that's going to rot away too. If you think about it, it'd be gone.
Did you see that? You see that thing with it's going to make some people think it's crazy. Well, personally, I do to an extent. The Terrence Howard thing that I sent you, we must have heard about this. This 1 times 1 equals like 2 or something. He was saying. Do you remember?
Oh, aye, Terrence.
So it was kind of, I don't know if it was like a mock towards people, but the whole sort of concept of it was to explain that there's more to the understanding of physics than we're basically told. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, being lied to is what is. I think the whole point of it.
We're definitely being lied to.
That was
being lied to. Right.
But
it's like how there used to be 13 months in it used to be 13 months in a year, and now there's only 12.
Because that's cycles, though. As I said before, I said about that before. With the 13 months, if you was to break it into 12 months, and you have 28-day cycles, which is supposed to be that way, you would be every month you'd have like your moon, like because everything works with the moon as well. It's partly to do with the moon and the solar system and all that kind of stuff. It all sort of like it's all like waveforms, as I said before. Everything has a balance, right? So as I said, one day of the month you'll be your best at, I don't know, could be your cognitive speech or something like that. Another day you might be good with creativity, mind, whatever. So every day of the month you've got different strengths. And I know this from playing snooker. So basically, because I tried to play it professionally, but got to a sort of semi-ish pro level. And every month there'll be a certain day or 2 days that I'd be really, really good for no reason. And it wouldn't matter how, like, it wouldn't matter if I was trying to play my best or if I was playing, thinking I was going to play crap, whatever. I'd always be good on them certain days once every month. And then I just put it into a calendar and was like, okay, so if it's a 28-day cycle over 28 days, 13 months, sorry. Every month, I put a star on the calendar, and then I also done it with Ronnie. Do you watch snooker? I don't know if you watch snooker. What's your name?
I watch snooker. Yeah.
Right. So Ronnie O'Sullivan, right? He's born. He's born on the 5th of December, right?
No, sorry, not Dublin. Sorry.
He's born on the 5th of December. I'm born on the 3rd of December. Now I've watched him play, and I've looked at his birth date, and obviously he's Sagittarius, same as myself. But when he was playing his best, watching him on TV, I put into my calendar a little star on that day because I thought, oh, that's the best I've ever seen him play, right? And I looked back through the dates of when he was playing and how when he won competitions and like his best appearances when he was playing his best, and it would always correlate with them dates. Because if you watch throughout the snooker history, right, they always play this like they'll do like a set. Be the Masters in January or whatever. Anyway, I'm getting too caught into this, but basically the cycle, if you carry on having the cycles, it's like a waveform. You have your peak and then you have the trough. The peak and the trough. It's the same thing.
You kind of say that as regards to professional players, they have their tops and bottoms, and it comes closer to their birthday time, they might feel just that bit better themselves.
Yeah.
Play that bit better, is it?
Yeah, you'd be more like sort of in the zone when you're playing. So like you know, if they say how it just feels like it's just easy to play, but it's a real difficult game, but it just feels easy. That's when you're in different states of consciousness, like mindset.
I think personally a lot of the professional sports that are played around the world now, they've completely changed with regards to higher stakes as part of it, what the players have to go through now. Considering you have your Wi-Fi and you're connected to the internet, everybody, they're giving you a good time or a hard time. that also must weigh on you as well. You know, I wouldn't like to be part of that.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. Well, anyway, Chris, you can come back now, mate. I've stopped waffling about.
No, I was just looking for the artifacts. I sent one Dakota there. It was the bit of the cog that was meant to be 300 million years old that was found in a coal mine. I mean, seriously, I mean, how's that possible? I mean, it's like
there's a reason why they're called oops artifacts, Chris.
Right.
But that's the literal term for them. Oops artifacts, out of place.
But that's, I mean, it makes you wonder what we were like then. If we were like humans, I don't think we were humans. I think we were something else.
How do I? Yeah, I think we've come from like Mars or something. I think we've transitioned from different places. Okay. I believe obviously the moon as well. I think the moon is an artificial body. I don't think that's even, because if you look at every other moon that there is, there's no moon that's circular like ours, spherical, and like orbits almost like it's got a tie with some kind of like what's that magnetic? Well, it's like a superconductive metal. If you use a superconductor, you can tether something to an object which is magnetized, right? So the Earth's magnetic, and then you tie yourself to a magnetic, and you can create an orbit based on a superconductor. So if you've got a superconductor inside of that moon, for instance, it wouldn't be hard to make a superconductor on a grand scale. Well, it would be hard, but on a grand scale, if there was a race of beings that create this frozen core inside of the middle of the moon, and then just come and tethered it to the Earth, they would have that sort of orbit and the wobble, because it wobbles slightly. Just look up YouTube and watch superconductive materials, and you'll see how they can make them orbit around.
Of course, the moon's actually slowly moving away from us, isn't it?
Yeah, they say.
But we've also got another moon too, haven't we? We've actually got two moons. A lot of folk don't realise that. But it's only like a wee asteroid or something that comes round every now and again. It's only like something that's been caught in the gravitational pull of the Earth and the moon and stuff like that. It's very small.
They also say about Mars's moons, and Mars is actually about to lose one of them to crash on.
Is that Phobos?
Surface.
Is that Phobos? Aye.
Yeah, see, Phobos is going to crash on the surface of Mars here soon.
That's actually quite interesting. That. There's that much we don't care about Mars and stuff like that. I think at one time it used to look like the Earth. Yeah, I mean, I really do think it did. But then that Terns guy, he was going on about how Mars at one point was closer to the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, it would be like where the Earth is now. Hence, it would be lush and green, and it would have seas, and it would have life. Well, and because it's outside that
consideration, Chris, Mars is at the very edge of our sun's Goldilocks zone. Yeah. And as far as the orbits, there is no steady orbit around the stars. It gets wider, and as the sun goes through its cycles, the gravitational pull can easily be affected. And there's a lot of evidence that suggests that, yes, Mars was, in fact, a lot like how Earth was nowadays. Just something major went down to make it how it looks today.
It would need to be
major. That's a simplified version of it.
I mean, I don't know if that's a scar that's on the side, it's something hitting it, or that's just tectonic plates or something like that.
If you look at Mars through a telescope, a good telescope, you can see that it's got like an atmosphere and a blue hue to it. So I don't know. They make it out like it's red,
but
they make it out like it's red with NASA, but I've seen it looking blue. So I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't bring into question, why does NASA need a Photoshop department?
That is so interesting you bring that right. Listen, I don't know if this is true or no. I don't know if this is true or no. There's a new artificial AI you can get, and seemingly it's to do with the moon landings. Have you heard about this, Dakota? Where you can take the moon landings, right, and you can feed it into the AI, and then it will actually find somewhere on Earth where it was took. And there is places magic to a T. And it's the same with the Mars rover. It's exactly the same with the Mars rover. where it is. It's been taking pictures, and there's places on Earth exactly the same. They look exactly the same terrain, different.
Yeah, like Creators of the Moon National Park here in Idaho.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's what it is.
Well, you got to take into consideration, Chris, the calculations behind that. Technically, at any given photo, you can have a rough idea where it was taken just by measuring the angle of the shadow that's being cast off of it.
Yeah. Here, a question for you, Dakota.
Now, there's probably people out there much smarter than myself that can do those calculations, but yeah, there is a certain mathematical formula behind it.
Right. There's a honest question, because I don't really do the alien stuff that much. I do more spiritual stuff than that. Do you honestly think, what's your honest opinion? Did we go to the moon?
Yeah, we did.
Did the US go?
We realized that someone beat us there.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know.
See, this is what it gets me, because I've been watching so much. I mean, that Buzz, what's his name? I mean, I kind of he likes a drink, you know. Yeah, I mean, there's been times where he's come out and he said, "Oh, we didn't go." Why does he do that? Why does he do that? And then, oh, but we did go. But we didn't go. And he does that. I personally believe we did go. But I do believe we only went once, and I think we were chased away. And I think that's why they didn't go back. And I think that's why they don't really want us going back now. Well, I don't know if we'll ever go back. But we probably are back, because there's the secret space program and that. We'll probably get humans living in off-world planets now. You know what I mean? And that's the madness.
The only thing is with the moon, just with getting off of Earth in general, you need to have, as I said before, you need like some kind of nuclear reactor on board, right? And they say that the moon landers had this because you need to generate an electromagnetic field for both north and south poles in order for any electronics to work. So you have to strap a nuclear reactor to the thing. You can't just have batteries, because it doesn't work. As soon as you leave Earth's atmosphere, all you're getting is the north pole of the poles from the Earth, either south or north, depending on what way you're going. And then you need to find the other pole from somewhere else. So unless the moon's got its own pole, like a south, but then the moon would have a north and south as well, because it's powered, isn't it? There's obviously, what I believe, there'd be things on there, living on there, right? Or bases, whatever. So you can't leave Earth without having that. So if you're on board of a craft with a reactor on board, it's going to cook the crap out of you, because the electromagnetic field that's coming from it, you know, that's, you know. So the only way you could, the only possible way you could, is if you had a vehicle, an extraterrestrial vehicle that you could use to leave Earth. That way you could.
See, that's what I've honestly, I believe, honestly, and I'm going to say this to the new, right? What happens if that's what they do? What happens if that's actually what they do? What happens if they have the technology, the UFOs, right? What happens if that's what they do? What happens if that's how they went to the moon? Oh, look, here's our rover here. No, look, here's our capsule. We've just landed on the moon. Here's the video to prove it, right? And then they come home again.
So that's the reason why they can't leave. They stay in low Earth orbit, because they've still got the magnetic fields to keep the power, and then they can use their their what's it called, their sun whatever thingy-majigs to charge the batteries on board, because they're still within Earth's magnetic field, the solar panels and that. But once you go out, they send deep space probes. You look, every single deep space probe has got a mini reactor on it. Every single one of them, because they can't power them otherwise. There's no way of powering with a battery. You can't just put a battery on board, because it just won't work.
What's the furthest away made object? What is it? It's the probe in it, the one with the humans on the back. What you call it? What's it? Is it Voyager?
Voyager
1.
Yeah.
So that's the furthest away right now, and that I know for a fact has got a small nuclear reactor on board. Because they did say about it, it's some type of, not really a nuclear reactor. It's some type of, it's the way it degrades, the radiation degrades, and it causes power, and it causes,
that can last for God knows how many decades.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, wouldn't be surprised in the near future that we send a machinery to the moon and to start mining for the minerals that are rich up there.
Oh,
You can be guaranteed it's money that's driving them to go up there between the Chinese, Russians, Americans. And all you have to do is send these fancy machines up there with the AI intelligence in them. They can do all the mining they like and just send it straight back. Doesn't need a human on the ground at all. And I can guarantee you, I can see that coming. There's a big push on these artificial intelligence machinery. And they're fascinating. Some of the machines I've been looking at are fascinating.
Yeah.
And a bit worrying as well. They work.
It is scary. I mean, are they not trying to, is NASA not an idea to capture an asteroid and bring it towards the Earth? Because it's worth $1 trillion or something stupid like that. It's even more than that. It's worth something like 100 trillion. I mean, do you think that's one of the most stupidest ideas you could possibly think of? Oh, let's bring this big rock towards the Earth and then we'll mine it. What happens if something goes wrong? And then
what about the plans to build a skyscraper utilizing the asteroid as the base and having it come down to the surface of the Earth?
What you mean, like a sky kind of elevator kind of thing?
No, an actual building that's being suspended from the asteroid itself. Seriously, there's plans for that out there as well. Trying to figure out how to do something like that.
That'd be cool.
I don't know, man. I think this is. I think I'm going to be honest here. See, Ken Lewis is quite young, and I Ken Dakota's quite young. But me and Lawrence, we'll probably never get to see this kind of thing. But you two, when you are all men and you're walking sticks and stuff like that, and Back to the Future, Dakota put his back playing golf or something like that, and Saturn or something like that. That's maybe that's probably get to see stuff like that. But do you know, I think that's just a really stupid idea. Honestly, who thinks about these things? I mean, I kind of they're getting Elon Musk to destroy the space station. Have you heard that, Ian?
No.
Old Elon.
Yeah,
he's got the demolition deal to take it out. Yeah. Aye. We just need to say free scrap and all the folk will begin up there to get the scrap. You know what I mean? No, but
right.
You can go that money up there. Gold and God knows what. Did they rescue the two astronauts? I think they're still stuck up there. I think they're just floating about. There's two astronauts up there. They knew that it was it wasn't Elon's rocket. It was another one. Who is it? It's no BA Systems. It's another one. So seemingly their capsule broke down. And they're stuck on the International Space Station. I don't know if they've managed to rescue them much. I think they're still floating about up there because they're capsule malfunction.
You know, they never really did put out that they got them down.
I know. That's what I was saying. I heard it last week.
When are they going to blow this space station up then? When are they going to demolish it?
Oh, it'll be a controlled re-entry. It'll be a controlled demolition.
When are they going to do that?
Just direct it to my backyard so I can get that payday.
I know.
Do you know how much you get if a piece of satellite falls on your property, man?
Mm-hmm. Like, they've been found in Russia and stuff. They've actually been found in Siberia, satellites, because that's where they put them down. They put them down over the land so as they can go out and retrieve them.
Yeah, they try to put it in the most isolated spots to avoid it hitting people.
Russia again. I mean,
that's for sure.
It's a little concerning that you're laughing at the back, Lewis.
Just sitting down on Grandma's house, back out in the States somewhere.
I'll tell you something new. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of money sitting in the moon right now. And it's no, see all the rovers and stuff that's up there that they've left up there. You have no idea the gold that's on that, and not just that. See, can you imagine? Like,
more precious metals than gold up there. That's what's there.
Oh yeah. No, just that. See for the first lunar lander for Neil Armstrong and stuff like that. Can you imagine what that would be worth? if you to bring this back. Some Egypt billionaire would buy that and put it in his living room or something like that. You know what I mean? This is the kind of people we're talking about.
If you have that kind of money to just screw around.
But there is these people. I mean, there is these people that are multi-billionaires.
Just take a piece back and make a fireplace out of it.
Aye. And it'll come the time when ETs finally show themselves, which will probably be a while, but when they eventually show themselves, there'll be some idiot out there that wants to buy a bit of their shop to put in like their hall or something like that. I mean, there's always somebody willing to buy something out there. Yeah, I mean, you know, a Galactic Federation toilet or something like that. You know what I mean? They'll want it, but oh, look at my toilet. That came from billions of miles away. Look, you know, a sonic toilet or something like that.
Who is that guy? There's that English guy who hacked what's his name? He hacked the area.
Oh, you talking about that?
The guy that
went back in the headlines.
Give me a minute. I'll search it.
What's his name? Paul something? Is it? No.
You're talking about the one who hacked into like NASA and saw all these files for like military fleets, just like, all the way up to like Pluto.
And
like, what was his name? He's
Gary
a funny
McKinnon.
looking dude.
Gary, that's it. Gary
McKinnon.
Gary.
He was looking for 2006. He was looking for search for proof of the existence of UFO landed. Have you heard about Trump? Seemingly, he's got to be releasing all the UFO files when he gets on office.
He was talking about that with his first term, so that doesn't surprise me.
Well, seemingly, he was getting interviewed the other day about it. And the guy just came out and says, "Listen, is there aliens and stuff like that?" And he says, "Listen," he says, "I can't really talk about it, but I've seen some really interesting stuff." Ken, to be honest with you, I don't think the presidents really can. I think that somebody else controls them, to be honest with you. I think there's like a dark, I think there's somebody else more powerful that controls all this stuff. Whoever controls the UFO stuff have got more power
Allegedly.
than the president.
Allegedly. I will say this. Allegedly. When the president is first elected into office, one of the first things they're debriefed on is the extraterrestrials. Allegedly. That's what I've heard through the grapevine. Whether or not it's true, I don't know. I thought about running for office just to see for myself. Just to see. What the fuck, man? Why not?
When I've watched, the amount of times I've watched Donald Trump speaking, and then I've watched, obviously, the guy, I can't think of his name now. I'm being Biden. That's Biden now.
Oh, hi, people.
And you can hear him in the earpiece.
The morphin here. That's it. I think it's an alien intruder.
You can hear him in the earpiece telling him what to say.
It's Mothman sperm.
It's coming for me. It's coming. Mothman. I'm going to wake up the night. It's going to be climbing towards me. No.
Anyway.
There we go. I'll whack it to death with my Amazon.
Lawrence looks like he's regretting coming into the show.
Yeah.
Yes, great conversation.
That's all right, Lawrence. Don't worry. The aliens will probably visit you tonight. It'll be fine. Dakota will be one of them.
Careful, Chris.
It's a word, yeah. It's hard to say when it comes to the American voting now and the politics. Yeah. Yeah, Biden is an old man for sure.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he has his good and bad moments. One good day, bad day. God, I don't know.
You know,
then he got Trump. What do you say?
Stuck between Trump and a man who's openly promoting that a worm ate part of his brain.
Yeah,
that's the choice we're pushing out to Americans, right? Us Americans.
Yeah,
right now.
I've been through the times of an old relative of mine years ago going through the Alzheimer's, and I most definitely can see it in that Biden. There's something coming on there, all right. That vagueness. But he likes it or not, you can't stop it.
Look, they're getting old now. I think there should be a cut-off point, and this is more.
He tried to run on. He tried to do that run on stage again. It's just. It's just.
Honestly, every time I kind of shouldn't do this, but every time I see Biden, I keep seeing the series Thunderbirds because he walks about like that as if he's like a puppet. I feel like I should hear the theme tune for Thunderbirds.
Yeah, I can hear the theme tune in the head. Yeah.
He was at the Normandy. He was at the Normandy invasion. He was at the Normandy D-Day celebration thing. Today in the thing, and all the paratroopers were coming on, and he wandered off. He was like. He was like, he just wandered off and he was like,
I think you heard an ice cream van. He went and got an ice cream.
Oh man, that's funny.
It's like he acts like some of my neighbors not too far from me that have Alzheimer's episodes. They like age regress to their like 5 years old and wander off to the ice cream parlor trying to get some free ice cream. That's usually where we end up finding them.
I can just see the situation tomorrow night.
I was 6 years looking after somebody with Alzheimer's. I can tell you what, that was a fun journey. Yeah.
It's like my grandmother had it. It's a terrible, terrible thing.
Yeah.
I can just see tomorrow night.
You need the patience of a bloody saint.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I agree with you 100% there, Lawrence, man. My grandmother had it for about 10 years. I looked after her for 10 years. It's horrendous. But I can just see it. God forbid there's ever an asteroid's going to strike the Earth.
They'll find some way of curing.
They'll be looking for the nuclear codes. They'll be looking for the nuclear codes. And they'll be like, where did I put that? Now, wait, no, that's with my great grandfather in the Civil War. I'll just go and speak to him. He's his grandfather in the Civil War. I was like,
Sorry.
Your country's safe.
He's starting to see dead people. Yeah, that's not a good sign.
He was having a conversation with his uncle. It was in the Civil War. I mean, come on, it'll be fine. He's got another 20 years left in him. Or you can have a luminous orange guy in office that drinks about 40 cans of Diet Coke a day. What more could you possibly want? I just don't know, honestly.
One with part of his brain eaten out by a worm, and who has a family history of political assassinations. So
we've got the same problem in the UK. We're voting for a new prime minister. Is it the 16th? That's the 16th. You'll not be voting for him, Lewis, because you've moved to Spain, haven't you? But I mean, we've got the choice of the prime minister. We've got the choice of the prime minister, the new Rishi, right? Rishi Sunak, right? Which when one of the war veterans at D-Day says, "Oh, what did you do without when you were a kid?" Some normal people would say, "Oh, food and kind of like that." He went, "Oh, I had to deal without Sky TV." Pissed everybody off. Plus, he can't hammer in a nail. And he was actually at a building place with kids, right? And he was showing them how to use the hammer, but he was using it the wrong way round.
He was trying to hammer it in with
shows he's never picked a hammer up in his life, didn't it?
And then we've got the choice in Nigel.
Never had a hammer in his hand.
And then we've got the choice. Then we've got the choice in Nigel that marches about everywhere with his big barber wax jacket and his wellies on, drinking pints everywhere and going. And then we've got the choice of the Labour dude. He doesn't really say nothing. He just like walks about like a Dalek. Every now and again he speaks. I think we need to get rid of everybody and just have one person in charge or something like that. I don't know what to do. I wish the aliens would come down and invade the new, to be honest with you. I'll just let them do it.
I agree.
You should run Dakota for president. You should run Dakota for president. You could do it, man.
I've got about 7 years before I'm legally able to.
Yep. There we go. That's something to set forward 10 years.
Well, you have to be a certain age to be a president.
Yeah, I think the minimum age is like 35.
Seriously? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think after Biden, they really need to put an age cutoff.
Yeah, so you need to make money very young so to get in there, don't you? Because it all comes down to big money in their campaign.
Oh, yeah.
God. Hundreds of millions it costs sometimes.
God, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
Dakota, how old are you? 20 something.
Say again, sorry.
Dakota, I was wondering how old he is for him to run for president.
I'm 28.
28?
You have to be 35.
Nah, he doesn't look 28.
No, he doesn't.
I thought I was in my 40s when we first met. What were you just about to say, fucker?
No, you look young, man. Apart from the bald head, that's about it, really, mate. You do look young.
There's Iron Firehorse been waiting for the aliens to save us for over 50 years. Hey, of course, right? Use alien dudes, right? When are the Galactic Federation turning up? When he's turning up to save us all? When he's going to take his holodeck? I want the
when
holodeck.
Humanity stops trying to wait for somebody else to wipe its own ass.
It's frustrating that it's happened so many times.
It's a crude way of putting it, but they don't want to come down here. They can probably flip everything out, but we wouldn't learn our lesson. If you take that one relative that we all have who's always getting himself in trouble because they have somebody always bailing them out. We all have somebody that we know that's like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to come down and start helping us out more until they learn to whoop their own ass.
I want to make a point quickly. There's people that started putting vinegar, right, in pans and letting it go up in the atmosphere to combat this climate change. Not climate change, the chemtrails, right? So I've seen these videos of people like going, have you put vinegar into a pan and boil it up and the vapors come up? The things like the clouds go away, right? And lo and behold, every time these people are doing it, the clouds are like parting and stuff. Now, and I was just like, I messaged one of the comments and I was like, it's not the vinegar that's doing it. It's actually your intention that's doing it. See? Now, if people start to realize that, once they can understand that it's the intention is what changes things, then that will change everything. If everyone's intention is not, negative, this and this, they're doing this, they're doing that, and everyone starts to wake up, actually, you know what? My thoughts control everything. And if we all think that way, it will manifest it. And that sounds stupid, but it will manifest an existence into a better. And that sounds ridiculously stupid, but it's such a simple process. But getting yourself around into that way of thinking, unless you get enough people to act like that with that mindset and not see the negative things, because obviously it's all there on purpose to stop that from happening. You see, that makes sense.
I do see that. It's like I did a live today doing the tarot readings, and I was like, can you imagine if every single person on the planet did one nice thing every day for someone? The world would be totally different. It would be totally different. But that's not going to happen because you've got greedy buggers out there that like money. I mean, you could just mention what's going on in Europe. That president, I'm not going to say who he is, but on charge, he's got bloody 3 private yachts. I mean, what's the point of that? What is the point of that? What we've paid for, I mean, the British and the Americans have paid for. And not just them, Europe have paid for. I just heard somebody's voice there. Did you hear that, Dakota? The woman's voice?
No.
Yes. That's weird, that. What was that at I would say 49?
Start about 148 and from there. Did anybody in the chat happen to hear that?
It was no, honestly, it was like she had like a weird accent. It wasn't American, it wasn't British. It was like a weird accent. It was it was just the way she said it.
I was going to say, because I was talking about this intention thing and whatever, and the mindset and whatever. When people look at that, they think, it's crazy. It's just like, it's sort of like gobbledygook stuff, and there's like, it's almost like impossible, and it's magical in anything. But you can like test it just by using, as I said before, you can test it using rice. If you cook rice and put it in a jar, and then intention of the rice, you can make one rice stay like fresh, and you can make one rice go moldy over the space of a week. If you curse at one of them and then you tell the other one you love it, and it stays fresh versus one goes moldy, so that just shows you how much your intention changes the outcome of everything. So if you get enough people to have that intention, then it will create the external change. So, like the person who was once poisoning you with chemtrails, or the organisation, all of a sudden something blew up in their facility. Then one guy turned to the other and said, "Oh, you know what? I don't think we should do this anymore." You know, and then like the sort of snowball effect of, I'm just making a scenario, but like things started changing. Someone thought, "Oh, I feel bad doing this," and then someone else felt bad, and then you know what I mean? It snowballed into a, "Oh well, we're not going to do this no more." But I'm not saying that that's how it would be, but just as an example. We all want the same thing governments want.
I do see this. I do think we have to, and I don't know if this is the right thing to say this, but see, money is a terrible thing. It really is. Because you look at the way the world is. I mean, you get people that have got billions of dollars. Right, of course, what they're afraid is they're waking up one morning becoming a millionaire or whatever, and millionaires are waking up one morning not having any money. But we can't keep going down the road we're on, but all these multi-billionaires and stuff like that, and having more money, because eventually all the resources are going to run out. It's only a matter of time before we start fighting for fresh water, before we start fighting for oil.
That's why we have a global bust every time. We have a top and we have a bottom. When the money runs out, they run away with it. And we all have a big recession.
Yeah.
If you
want it all balances out, we go straight back at it again.
I'm saying, if you want clean water, all you got to do is dig down and tap into it, mate. Get it from underground, because it gets filtered through the rocks.
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say something. I'm in Scotland, obviously, right? And we're meant to have the cleanest water about. But I bought one of the testing kits to tell you the water quality. Now, it says on the Scottish Water website that they do not put fluoride into the water. It's seemingly in Scotland, it's naturally occurring in the rocks, right? Mm-hmm. So I tested that and I was like, holy shit, it was like 375. It shouldn't even be that. I filtered my water. I've got one of the new ones that's got like added zinc filter. It's a big filter like that in a jug. So I filtered that and it went down all the way down to like number 5. So that's really good. But I was talking to somebody the other day, somebody that I ken that works at the reservoir where the water comes through. And I was saying, I says, of course in Scotland, I says, we don't add fluoride. And he said, oh, aye, we add fluoride. It says at the plant up there, we've got big drums and they come in the back of trucks. Yeah. And it's like liquid fluoride. It's really concentrated and it gets poured into these big tanks and it gets added to the water.
We've been doing that since the early 80s.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Aye, but see in Scotland, it's actually in Scotland. If you look it up, it says in Scotland, the water is naturally got fluoride. They do not add fluoride.
That's nonsense.
Yeah, it's rubbish.
Yeah. You can taste it. See my tap down the stairs. I poured a glass of water the other day there and I was like, what the hell is this? It was like white.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, it's just
cloudy water. Yeah.
Aye. And I thought to myself, I'll just let it sit for half an hour.
Yes.
And the smell, you can smell it. You can smell the fluoride in it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I notice that when they break into a water main and they have to shut it off and rerun it again, all the stuff seems to get disturbed. And it comes through your system very briefly. That's the only time you see it, and then it clears out again. Yeah, you forget about it. But it's there, of course it's there.
And then people wonder why there's so many cancers. Okay, I mean, I drink out these cans. I mean, I drink out these cans all the time. I'll drink about maybe 3 cans a day. I didn't realise the chemicals in these cans. People don't realise, but there's a plastic lining in the inside.
Right.
What's inside that can?
Yeah, silicone.
What is it the day you can take the can?
If you put it in sulfuric acid and it leaves the silicone behind.
It leaves the silicone wrap in the
inside.
It's
just an aluminium can. I didn't realise that.
And then once it comes out, obviously, then whatever drinks in there is acidic, so it starts to eat at the plastic. That's why they have a shelf life, because the plastic starts to degrade into as well. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the can will start to rust over time as well, but that's to prevent the can from rusting. They use silicone.
I'll say this to now. I was shocked when I tested that water. I was really shocked when I seen that water.
Yeah, you want to be very
careful
close to the water. Yeah.
I was shocked when I seen it, and I thought, right, I've put it through that. I bought these. It's one of these. I can't remember what it's called, Berkey or something filters. It's quite a big filter, and it's a big jug. It was quite expensive. It can do up to like 20 gallons, something stupid like that. But see the difference? It taken it right down to about 6 or 7. I was like, what the? And you can taste. It tastes like it tastes better. You've not got the chemicals in it.
Is that the Brita filter, Chris? Is that the Brita?
It's no.
You kind of pour the water in the top and filters down into the jug. Then you have the fresher water.
I'll get to the new. I've got it on Amazon. I need to buy another packet of filters for it. But,
that's it. Yeah, you need to replace the cartridge. Yeah.
Where are we?
It's one of the better ones for to get the heavies out of the water. My father's had cancer years ago. He's had a stoner bag for near 30 years now. And he has to be careful when it comes to the water he drinks. Because if he gets any kind of infection in there, it can cause him some very serious harm.
I buy the added magnesium ones.
Right.
The best thing you can
buy that.
The best thing you can do is get is to do either distill the water if you get a distiller.
Yes.
Even though people say, "Oh, it takes out the nutrients and all that," you don't need the minerals in that. You can just use a bit of salt if you want to put mineral in your body to get salt.
You just want clean water.
Yeah, you just need water.
It's not much hard to ask for, is it nowadays? Clean water. Look at them dumping all the stuff into the rivers and lakes and everything else. I go, oops, sorry, the valve broke. Hundreds of thousands of gallons of storage gone in there. Sorry about that. You know, we get a fine. We'll do it again next week. They'd rather pay the fine than redo the stuff.
I know.
It's causing a problem.
They don't care. They don't care. I've up the back for me. It's all like moorland and rocks, and there's a lot of limestone. Because obviously I've got like the Lead Hills behind me, and that's where the gold is and stuff like that. But there's a natural spring. There's a natural spring way up there.
Did you test the water?
I've noticed that I did actually, and it's very good. It was only like 2 or something like that. It was really, really rich in minerals. And I taken a cup with me one day, and I was drunk it, and I thought, holy shit! I've never tasted anything like this. It was really, really good. But I've noticed they've dug a trench all the way around about it and put a fence up, so you can't get to it.
No.
Why? And that's because they say it's because they're putting in the wind turbines and stuff like that in case anyone wanders in and stuff. And they've dug all around about it and stuff like that, but you can still get to it. There's a hole in the fence, but you can still get to it. But see what I mean? They're trying to stop you for even drinking natural water. It was famous because a lot of the Scottish people in the village would go up and get the water to put in their whiskey in New Year's Day.
Yeah, you need the clean water when it comes to making whiskey.
Yeah.
The moonshine, right?
This is what's trying to. We don't use. There's too much. See, I live in a kind of mining industry. My village was famous for its coal. What was one of the deepest mines in Scotland was in my village, and a lot of the coal was turned into coke. What went to the steelworks to
coke.
For the.
Did you say coke?
Aye.
Coke.
Coke. Yeah.
Cool. Right. Anyway, it was. Okay. They crush up the coal. They crush up the coal. I'm not going to say that again. They crush up the coal and they turn it into a powder, and they fire the powder into the furnaces, right? And it makes the steel. It makes it makes the steel for the steelworks and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of the coal for my village was called gas coal, and it was very good for boilers and ships, but it was also in trains. Now, a lot of the coal for my village went to Ireland. It went to power the big like Titanic and stuff like that. They say that's where some of changed my name back, but it went to change the. It went to change. It went to change what you call it, the coal furnaces and stuff like that. But you have no idea. I don't know if you know this, but there's radiation comes off of coal. Did you get that?
Yeah. It does. Yeah.
And I was actually talking to a guy one day. I've got a lot of like old bangs, they're called, like spoil heaps, round about me.
Yeah.
And some of them are burning to this day. They're still burning. because they're coal. It's just been piled up and it's slowly burning away. But that's given off. People don't realise that causes cancer.
Is it argon gas comes off of it? Argon?
I don't know what the gases are, but you can smell it. It's
not
a sulphury smell when it's burning.
Yeah.
And there's actually a place
radon, sorry. Radon gas. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah.
There's actually a place in the United States. It's in Pennsylvania. It's called Centralia. You can actually look this up. And it was a town in the early 60s that caught on fire. It was actually, there was a coal seam in this mining town. And they were burning rubbish and it set, what was that?
I think Lawrence has got like a moth or something.
Yeah,
It's literally flip past the camera out. What the fuck?
There's actually, and this is actually an interesting fact. There's in Centralia, look this place up, Centralia, Pennsylvania, USA. In the early 60s, they were burning rubbish, and one of the coal seams caught fire.
Centralia,
USA. And what happened is they tried to put it out. They tried and tried and tried. They pumped water and everything, but it wouldn't go.
Still burning.
To this, they evacuated the town. Right to this day, it's still burning. They reckon it's got another 1,000 years before it goes out. They've actually evacuated. There's places in China where there's coal fields and fire, and they reckon it'll burn for another 100,000 years. And they'll never be able to put it out. They can't put it out.
It's good for the environment, though.
Oh, brilliant.
Technically, yes.
Carbon's what the plants need to survive, man. Carbon dioxide.
It's madness. I mean,
come on, bud. You want to be on?
I do think a lot of the revolution, the steelworks and the coal industry did cause a lot of cancer. Definitely caused a lot of cancer.
Oh, yeah.
Lung cancers for sure. With the dust that they would be working outside.
Yeah.
For sure. That is not an easy industry. I worked underground myself back years ago in Tara mines in Ireland. And it's a different world when you're down in there, that's for certain. I've worked a lot of quarry works and eventually I've worked in a lot of quarries someplace, so in my past, so I've seen a lot of heavy engineering. Dirty work.
I'm guaranteed to get some kind of lung problems when I get older because around where we are, I said to Chris the other day, there's asbestos everywhere. Asbestos absolutely everywhere, all over the floor. It's just littered in everything because they put asbestos piping for like the water.
That stuff that was used now, it wasn't a threatening asbestos. What's in that is more cement. And they use fibers of asbestos to bind it. But it's 80 to 20%, 80% cement, 10 to 15%. What fibers in is very, very small. It's the pure asbestos sheets is what the stuff you really want to steer clear of. That's getting harder and harder to find now.
The stuff that's here is the blue stuff. It's colour blue. So I don't know. That's.
It's blue. It should be grey.
It's everywhere.
If it's grey, that's not so bad. But that's a blue.
It's everywhere. Blue. It's all over the floor, everywhere in the fields and that, like all over. Basically, there's loads of broken pipes. There's just it's not.
He's
good.
in Spain. I looked it up. See, in Spain in the early 70s. In Spain, it's naturally occurring asbestos.
Really bad.
There was actually mines in Spain. In the mainland Spain, it was mined. It's when it breaks open, obviously, it turns into what you call it. But it was used for thousands of years. People thought it was great because obviously it didn't burn. It was perfect for because it obviously using fire material. But I can remember. I know there's places around about me where it's still got roofs, but the buildings are okay as long as that roof does not break.
Yeah,
because as soon as
once
that
the roof
breaks,
gets damaged, it doesn't release the fiber. If it stays sealed, there's no harm to it.
And there was me driving up and down the road on my motorbike, up the road, all the dust pluming everywhere, and there's asbestos literally all over the floor. And it's that stuff, you can look at it and you could like break it apart and you can see it all like together. Like, it's no good.
They used it in water pipes too.
Hopefully they blow us up in a massive.
They make gutters and drain pipes and houses back in the 50s. A lot of the Irish houses built in the 50s, the gutters, they look like they're cast iron, they're actually made out of cement type asbestos.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's weird because folk used to think it was fine. I mean, here's an actually interesting fact. See, was it The Wizard of Oz? Shit, I can't remember. One of the films, see, in the early 1930s, you came up talking about the ground, and the fake snow was actually asbestos fibers.
It was Wizard of Oz.
Was it Wizard of Oz? Aye.
Oh my word!
No way.
Yeah.
That's not good, is it?
Yes, we got to remember Wizard of Oz did also have that dead body hanging.
That's true.
What was that about?
Hanging a bit.
Someone was hanging from a tree.
Yeah. Obviously, once digital technology got to be better, they edited it out to where you don't see it.
You can find the original.
If you find the original tapes of Wizard of Oz, there's a man who hung himself in the background of one of the shots. Was one of the little
Oompa Loompas, or whatever they're called. No.
Yeah, whatever
the lollipop.
Yeah, one of the lollipop guilds. Yeah, they were apparently harassed pretty hard back then, and one of them took his own life.
I wonder if that place is haunted. Yeah, dwarfs.
Work conditions.
You wanna,
You never know anymore, man.
We never know what we've been exposed to. Come on. You don't know what you're getting exposed to every day. You don't know. Yeah. Especially with mobile phones. No. Especially with mobile phone technology and stuff like that. And Wi-Fi and Jesus. There's Wi-Fi everywhere now.
Well, we do know what we're getting exposed to a certain extent. We just choose to ignore it in certain ways. We prefer rather than to do anything about it. Like most people mobile zombies and was constantly all they're doing is walking in one punch in the hand phone and they're just walking. I call them mobile zombies in my own person.
I like watching them walk across the road when they're on their phones and they don't realise there's traffic. They just walk straight out in front of traffic.
I almost hit a kid with my car the other day because he was doing that crap. He's all getting pissed at me, and I'm just like, "Get off your phone, you moron!"
It's funny because they changed the law on having to give way to pedestrians. Yeah, but obviously in the UK this is. But the thing is, when you've been driving for like 20 odd years or whatever, and then you try and change something, it's like. It's like moving your fridge, you know what I mean? Or changing the door around the opposite way on your fridge instead of opening one way.
The car door comes in very handy sometimes.
Oh God.
Oh goodness gracious, man. So anyway,
there's a person across down the road for me drives about, and she's 92 and she still drives.
Is she the one that holds up all the traffic?
Oh God, and you have no idea what it's like. I seen her the other day. She's got one of the, what do you call the, is it Vauxhall Novas they're called, the wee cars. And she was, I shit you not, I just couldn't stop laughing. She drove past me and all I could see was a perm sticking up out of the steer. She couldn't even see her. She couldn't even see out of the hood. It was like the very tip of her head was at the top of the steering wheel. And it was like a big perm. She must have just had her hair done. And she just drove right past me and she indicated left and turned right.
Oh God.
I see it all the time. I like sitting in the car parks watching them. I find that it's like a new entertainment. I should rather get a live channel for live streaming old people parking. It'll get like a smart car and the space will be able to take a bus. It'll take them about an hour and a half to get in.
You say that now, Chris, but the way you keep mulling on about some of your issues, that's going to be you in the next 5 years.
Oh, no, I'm going to buy one of them motors, a self-driving car or something like that. I mean, that'll do me.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be like that guy who's, there's this video. He's talking to his passenger. I was like, "Oh, these smart cars are great. How they drive themselves. Oh, so fantastic!" And the fucking car, while it's driving by itself, steers into oncoming traffic.
the runaway car.
You're going to get a lot of money.
Yeah. Cold day.
I mean, if you
cold day in hell before I sit in one of those cars, that's for certain. Either I drive or somebody else does.
When they first came out, I was all for it. Seeing some of this going on with them. I'm just like, you have free fun.
Well, remember that car that ran over the person in America? Was that a Tesla? It was just driving along and just ran them over.
There's been there's been the cars in the UK which the person or people driving can't put the brakes on and they won't slow down.
Look at
that. The fuck was that? No, you're not. You'll fix this up.
So as I was saying, there's been these cars where people in the car and the car just starts accelerating extremely fast, and then they're like hammering the brake trying to slow the car down, and it's not slowing down, and they're having to drive, and the guy's calling the police whilst his car's doing like top speed. He's saying like, I can't slow my car down. I can't. They've had to T-pack the guy. The police have had to T-pack the guy in his electric car to stop him on the side of the road because his car wouldn't stop. And that's happened to like 4 or 5 different cars, I think.
Don't you what I'm going to do is a treat for you all. When I'm an old man, maybe when I'm in my 90s, I'm going to come out to America and see Dakota. I'm going to hire a car and take you for a drive. It's the least I can do.
Yeah.
Change my name back. You see, he's doing that to my name again. That's terrible.
What? I was just adjusting it. Just trying to fix the names here. People seem to think we look alike.
Ah, you do. Yeah, I can see that. Apart from actually, you both got the same beards as well.
No, I actually grew this one first. He just copied me.
He just copied me.
Why the fuck would I copy you?
You copied me. You had to grow a beard to be the same as me. You had to do it. You were jealous and you had to copy me. I had this beard first. And you had a funny Hitler moustache in the wrong place, and the kind of hair, it was like, it looked like a bit of tape had been stuck in your chin. Okay, I mean, it's not my fault that you can't. It takes you about a month to grow like one hair or something like that, It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault that's like. I think mine's is more styled. It's got the grey there, and it's got the grey there. It shows the wiseness and the Gandalf the grey.
I don't understand how you got that grey bit. And it's so like
has co-host for all these years.
It's so uniform as well. It's come out uniform.
Yes.
Aye.
It's all telling you. It's wiseness. I'm allowed to. I'm closer to God. Yes. I mean, I'll see him God before Dakota. I mean, no, then again, Dakota could go in a self-driving car.
I don't know. Like, there's this gentleman. He got this dash cam video from his Tesla, right? It was a fairly foggy day. He had it on self-driving mode. And there's a train coming, right? Now the car obviously is supposed to detect that there's a potential train coming. The car just kept going and going. He had to take over the wheel and basically drive into one of those signs that pull the bars down, just so he wouldn't get hit by the train. Basically, the fog was so thick.
The car wouldn't have picked up on the train.
The fog was so thick, it was messing with all the sensors on the car itself, is what they determined.
Yeah, see, there you go. We love our technology, great, but the fine line is the human being is the best machine out there. You need the human being behind the wheel.
Yeah, and they're doing everything they can to weaken the human being, man.
Oh, well.
Just saying.
Well, depends what weight you want to be. I don't know. maybe I'm just that little bit older. I'm not into it right now. I'd rather drive myself. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll stick with my old Cadillac.
Oh yeah,
Christ, and
you're dead right too. At least you can work on that. I'm quite jealous of that car. Thank you very much.
I seen a Model T Ford the other day. There, I seen a Model T the other day.
A Model T.
Yeah,
good
black one. Because remember when they were first built, I think they only came out in one color, wasn't it? Black. No. It was one of the first ones.
Funny, they were built in Cork in Ireland one time, and the color was green.
No.
Oh, that's
that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, dark green. The emerald green, actually, they called it. So your man Ford used to say you can have any color you want but black, you know. Yeah, it used to be dark green south of Ireland one time in Cork.
The invention of the automobile.
That's how big Model T Fords were at the time. There you go. Big man, wasn't he?
I would love to see Dakota drive. I mean, Dakota looks big in one of the wee cars. I would love to see him drive a Model T Ford down the road. He'd be like squeaking away in the suspension. Leaf springs. You'd be fine, Dakota. You'd be fine. I mean, I think they're beautiful vehicles. Then the old Model Ts. I mean, they're no hard to sort whatsoever. The electronics in them whatsoever, except for the lights.
Go wrong with them.
So easy to fix, so easy to maintain. But cars nowadays, you need a laptop to fix them.
Right,
you need
Aye.
I mean, mine's a 2012, but when you get inside it, it's like it had a problem with there was a sensor went on it, and I see the bother I had trying to track this sensor down. Oh my god! I had to plug it into a laptop to get somebody to plug a laptop in to reset it and then find out where it was coming from. And it was just a wee sensor. It was causing me nothing but problems.
Yeah.
It's changing my name. That's terrible. Put it back.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, that's terrible, man. That's terrible.
Ay, it's so sensitive.
Shit, man.
I know. But there you go.
There you go.
Hang on.
Like the gorilla in Mario Kart. Yeah, that's what about look like in most vehicles. They're dots. Like freaking Donkey Kong.
Look, this is what I wanted to show you. To the clearest members, I'm just going to quickly copy this link. Copy link address.
What is it?
It's a picture of Mars. I just wanted you to see it because I was trying to find it earlier and I couldn't find it. If I just send it to... Oh, how am I supposed to send it?
I don't even know it. I was wondering what it was.
Oh, well, I didn't look.
I noticed it when you did it, you bastard.
Let's go on
I can date too.
Chris, how do I send this link to you on here?
Just send it through.
I can't even.
Would you call it WhatsApp and then is it?
Oh yeah. I sent it. Yeah, I sent it. Oh yeah, I sent it to you, and you sent it to Dakota. Just have a look at the. It's only the start of it. You get to see the actual image of Mars. But yeah, I just came across it. I was trying to find the thing earlier. Did you send it to Dakota?
Just give us a sec. I'm just sending it to him, copy and pasting it. Yeah. Hang on, man. It's because it's the Atlantic, isn't it? The pretty one. There you go, Dakota.
That's it.
Send it to you, man.
Is my mic loud or is it quiet today?
No, it sounds alright. It sounds
Hello,
fine.
can you hear me clearly?
Aye, we can hear you. Aye, do know. Aye.
Is it just me or did it suddenly go quiet?
Very quiet.
I know, I can hardly hear you.
It might have been because I came close to the microphone, you see.
Aye.
It might have been that.
I mean, Chris's box is lighting up, indicating that he's talking, but I'm not hearing anything.
Oh, no, that's because he's got porn on in the background.
Yeah.
Probably. his hentai.
We have so many old bad drivers. It's scary. They even build cars more reinforced on the left side. I think it's because they crash a lot turning left. Lawrence is having a nice pint of beer there. What's his beer of choice? Or is it? Or is it? What is it? A bitter?
No, it's a Carlsberg actually.
Carlsberg. Oh, nice. Very nice. Where's this video? Did you get it, Chris? Or
I sent it to Dakota a couple of minutes ago.
Dakota's lacking.
Drinking out his 45-gallon drum.
It's only the start. I'm trying to show you the start. 45-gallon drum.
He's there. He's pressed the ring button again. See, Kevin, that is his computer's got too much porn files on it.
I didn't realise I could share my screen. I didn't realise I could just share my screen.
I see.
Oh, right. Pretty cool.
A terrible set bag. What's this? I'm just messaging somebody. Somebody messaged me, so I have to message them back. Nope, here he's coming. The prime. Here he comes. Where are you, Dakota? I don't think I can get in. I think he's getting in problems here, you know. Dakota. I think he's having technical problems. I think he's getting old now. When you get one of the big keyboards for old people so they can see all the alphabet and stuff like that.
Doesn't help, Chris.
I got one for my grandmother once, a mobile phone with a big giant buttons on it. Well, I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. At least I'm here.
Chris's head. Oh, hello. You doing this?
He looks like Dr. Evil.
Dakota is a joker. He's got his red light on now.
He's like Dr. Evil.
Let me
I have a plan.
Let me show you this building. I've got an interesting building to show you.
Fucking idea what's going on.
I'm gonna share my screen. One sec. I'm gonna share my screen.
Okay. I see Lewis's screen.
Whoa,
holy crap,
dude! Right.
Wow.
Have a look at this.
An acid drop.
Mirrors facing each other.
So this is just an old building, and I thought, oh, you know what? I'm going to film it. And then
this is a really
and then I realized
impressive building.
It looks like an antenna on top of it. And why is it built this way? Ready? And why is there a lead on top of the roof for starters?
Well, we lost Lewis.
Oh my god, I'm getting tired now. I'm going to go in bed.
Yeah. What the frick is going on?
Right. Dakota's got issues. Issues. It's not me. You can't blame me for it. I'm done. Do look, Dakota's. Look at that. Dakota's froze again. He looks like he's doing something that he shouldn't be. Look how excited in his face he is. Look.
I think this is going to be an indicator that we should probably end this.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's looking that way, isn't it?
Just a bit.
Dakota, Chris, thank you for having me tonight.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
I'd love to have a chat with you some night about the old ghost stories and the like. So I have a feeling.
We'll have to. I'll do a fun night on Friday night, and have to give you all one to talk about ghosts and ghouls if you want.
Yeah, we need to get back and touch too, Chris, about we're going to do a talk on the famine. You might just get that back.
I'll wait till Jenny comes back for a thing, and then we'll maybe do something about that. I'm still researching that. It's a kind of subject where you want to get the right information.
Yeah. There's plenty of information there, all right. Correct and right use. It's hard reading.
It's very hard reading, but it needs to be told about. You know what I mean? Here you go, Lewis. How was the alien experience? You've been away for a week, man. What happened to you?
What happened?
I don't know. I just disappeared off the stream.
Came to us. You've been Dakota. You've been doing too much of yanking that cord again, the same as Dakota.
It said you'd been kicked from the live stream.
Ah,
Christopher!
it's not me.
It wasn't me.
I was looking stuff up. It wasn't me because I was
of course you're looking stuff up. You really should get your. You really need to get out there.
That
and
would
meet
me. I
someone,
wouldn't do that to you, Lewis. So that's
Sure.
That's Dakota's fault. It's Dakota's fault.
Okay.
Terrible. See, this is what happens. He's getting to these older years. He's coming into puberty now. See, this is what happens with him. I mean, you're that side, you know. Come on. You know.
Is it a support page?
I don't know how much we're having issues, man. I think it's about time we cut this off.
Gentlemen, it's been wonderful. Thank you for tonight.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're very welcome, once. And if you have any alien experiences tonight,
you never know.
If you have any alien experiences tonight, it's Dakota's fault. Okay.
Dakota, Chris, I can't see this man's name. What's that man's name there?
That's Lewis.
Lewis, his name.
Sorry, Lewis. All right. Asking now at the end. Lewis, thank you. Good luck to you.
Cheers, man.
Yep.
Grand lads, thanks very much. I'm gonna step out there.
All right, man.
You'll be coming in now in a few minutes.
Yeah. You better get off that computer.
Good man yourself. Listen, thanks lads. Good luck. I'm gonna go. Thank you.
Good night, guys. Good night.
Cheers. Bye.
Ta-da.
Night, man.
Bye. We're all alone now.
That's weird to how it's like. It's weird because it's
just the three of us. Oh, he's still
you
there.
keep breaking up Dakota for me.
He's still there. We're all alone.
Dakota keeps freezing for me.
Yeah.
Dakota froze like that.
He keeps like his eyebrows keep going. His eyebrows keep doing this as well. I don't know.
Aye, I think he's turned into a Vulcan.
You look like that, mate.
Yeah, see, I can do the Vulcan too.
Oh, Chris, you're back.
He's back again.
Oh, I've missed you, buddy.
I know. The aliens took me, man. You know, I've just said Dakota that I couldn't help myself. I had to send Dakota that. Where is it? Oh God, where is it? I've sent him the Dr. Evil.
He got the amp, didn't he? He's like, right, that's it. I'm ending the show now.
I don't know what. I honestly don't know what's happened tonight. It was weird. It was.
Yeah.
I honestly, Dakota's been yanking his cable too much. That's what that is. He's worn it out. But anyway, listen, man, it's been awesome. I'll give you a phone maybe tomorrow sometime if I've got time, man. And I'm going to go to my bed now.
Still no guys.
Well, we're still on.